Yo, it's me, it's the SCOTT. Okay, truth here is, it's actually my second chance at this video because I started doing it off the top of my head and I couldn't remember actors' names, so I had to stop, write it down. So, okay, first and foremost, today it was announced that Ruby Rose was leaving Batwoman. Now, if you watched the show, you're sitting there going, wait, she's Batwoman. How can she leave the show? I know. When I first started, I'm like, that's gotta be bullshit. Someone is pulling a prank. No, she's actually leaving. I haven't heard of this before, but it made me stop and think of actors that left shows. And like, which characters, leaving shows affected the show. I don't know much what affected the show, but what instances where a character left that could I think of? And so I came in here where most of my TV seasons are, and I just started picking out seasons. And yeah, so I'm here to give you the top 10 times actors left TV shows. And we'll start off with a couple honorable mentions here. One is Are You Afraid of the Dark? No specific actor. Just talk about the characters here because in season 1 they had like 6 characters. And that was Gary, Kiki, Betty Ann, Kristen, Eric, and David, and Frank. There's 7 of them? Gary, David, Frank, Kristen, Kiki, Eric. Okay, I guess there were 7. After season 1, Eric left, and never seen him again, never heard of him, wasn't even told that he left. But then after season 2, David and Kristen left and were replaced by Sam and Tucker. After that, Frank left at the end of season 4 and was replaced with Stig. And then you had the cast overhaul in season 6 and 7. But yeah, just wanted to talk about that quick. We also have Degrassi, most notably, just a few characters here. We had the first exit that I know of is Christine Schmidt, who played Terry. Her character exit was that her abusive boyfriend got angry, pushed her, and she hit her head on a rock, which put her in a coma. And then they later said that she got transferred to different school. And this led to a school shooting. And I'm not going to go through the whole school shooting because that's spoilers. But it did result in another character leaving the show, and that's Sean Cameron, played by Daniel Clark. He did return in season. This was at the end, towards the end of season 4. He returned in season 6, but left again at the end of the season, and then returned for one episode during season 7, but never really return. And then one more character I want to talk about is J.T. York. He died in season 6 after an argument with rivals from another school. Because he was dating someone who used to go there, and then they stabbed him in the back, literally, and he died. But yeah, so, okay, now we start the actual top 10 list. And number 10 is Anita Barone in the Jeff Foxworthy show. It's really like the whole season 1 cast, except for Jeff Foxworthy and Haley Joel Osment, but Anita Barone is the big one. During season 1 of the show, Anita Barone played Karen Foxworthy, Jeff's wife, and there was also the characters of Walt and Russ, and I didn't look up their actors' names actually, but they were a part of season 1. Halfway through the season, they were taken out and brought in for Jay Moore and Deborah Jo Rupp, who played Jeff's brother and Karen's sister, respectively. And then after season 1, they were all written out. And weird enough, at the end of season 1, Karen gives birth to their daughter, but by season 1, the overhaul came. They recast the role of Karen, brought in the second child, which was a boy, made him 4 years old, and moved everyone down to Atlanta, which complete overhaul. And to me, I can watch season 1 just fine, but I start watching season 2, can't get into it because it's not the same characters. Even the 2 characters that stayed on just aren't the same anymore. Number 9 is Tracy Scoggins, Michael Landis, and John Shea in Lois and Clark, Your New Adventures of Superman. They were main characters during season 1. At the end of the season, they were written off, most of them. Actually, Michael Landis played Jimmy Olsen, and he was recast because, one, he was too old, and two, they said he looked too much like Dean Cain, who played the Superman. So they recast him with Justin Whalen, who was younger, and stayed Jimmy Olsen for the rest of the season. Tracy Scoggins was left go for some reason. I even looked up, I couldn't find out why there. But John Shea left the show because apparently there were arguments over him commuting from New York to where they were filming, and it wasn't working, so he was let go. So that explains that. But yeah, Lex Luthor did return in seasons 2 and 3 for a couple episodes, but he was never a main character again. Number 8, Mr. Bauer, David Ogden Stiers, two guys, a girl in a pizza place. During season 1, like I said, first seasons of a show, much like this one, and they go through changes to make things better. Jeff Fox for the show didn't do that, but Lois and Clark did, and this show, during season 1, there were two characters that were written out. Bill, played by Darius Query, who was their boss at the pizza place. These two guys, boss at the pizza place. It was a decent character, but the most memorable character from season 1 was Mr. Bauer, played by David Ogden Stiers. And the reason he's memorable is because, well, Mr. Bauer's a little crazy in the head, and he often recounts stories of his glory days, but they're all from movies. And I kind of like that character, and after season 1, he was written out. There was another character, Melissa. She was Pete's girlfriend, but she wasn't really around that long. But Mr. Bauer was a memorable character, and he was gone after the first season. Kind of wish he would have stayed a little bit. And even, it's really weird because Bill was the manager of the pizza place, right? But the pizza place still stayed until after season 2. Like, first couple episodes of season 3, they ditched the pizza place. Who is managing the pizza place in season 2? They're just there talking. There's no boss yelling at them, nothing. It's really weird. Number 7, Jensen Ackles, and I remember this at the last moment, Eric Johnson, Smallville. Eric Johnson played Whitney Fortman, Lana Lang's boyfriend during season 1. At the end of season 1, Whitney went to, he enlisted. And he came back during season 2, but it wasn't him. It was Tina Greer, who could change her shape. And we never really seen him again. However, during season 4, Jensen Ackles joined the show. And I remember when I first saw him, I thought it was Whitney again. But no, Jensen Ackles played Jason Teague during season 4. And he left at the end of season 4. His character was killed off. And that's because he was going on to star in another WB/CW show, Supernatural, which has been on for 15 years. So I guess he made the right choice. Number 6 is Glenn Quinn, Angel. I've already explained this in my Angel retrospective, but Glenn Quinn was killed off halfway through season 1 due to problems with his substance abuses, and he was let go and replaced with Alexis Denisoff. He died during season 4, and they paid homage to him in one of the episodes. That's a pretty easy one. This one, number 5, Jason David Frank, Power Rangers. Now, this is a little difficult because this is adapted from the Japanese Super Sentai. And in the Japanese version of the show, the Green Ranger died. And because here they made it more for kids, they couldn't do that. So they had Tommy lose his powers to the Green Candle. However, the character was so popular, he was brought back, and then they go again. But again, he was brought back and made the White Ranger. And he stayed until Power Rangers Turbo, where they recast the entire cast except for the little kid Justin, who was just cast. So, but yeah, they went to other cast members like Austin St. John, Walter Manuel Jones, and Thai Tran left in the middle of season 2 after supposedly wanting more money, and they were replaced with Karen Ashley, Steve Cardenas, and Johnny Young Bosch, respectively. And then, of course, Amy Jo Johnson left during season 3 and was replaced by Catherine Sutherland. There was other cast changes. But really, Tommy was the one that kind of jumped out at me. Now, this one has also multiple casting changes, but this one's going to stick out because to me it does. And that's number 4, Amber Benson in Buffy. And really, I should have showed season 6 because that's when it happens. Picked the wrong season, but it's too late now. Amber Benson played Willow's girlfriend, yes, lesbians, which she meets in season 5, or season 4 actually, and she's never a main character until the episode that she dies, and that's because Joss Whedon always wanted to kill off a main character, a series regular, like on the first episode that they're around, which is why Eric Balfour was originally going to be a series regular in season 1, and they were going to kill him off right away, but they didn't have the funds to make him a series regular for at least 2 episodes, so that didn't work. So they did it with Amber Benson. I guess they had the funds this time, and she died in the episode that she became a regular. So I always thought it was weird, but after watching stuff on YouTube and stuff, it makes sense now. That's what he wanted to do. He did it. Number 3, Dominic Monaghan lost. Now, there's a lot of deaths on here I could talk about. A lot of characters leaving the show. But the first one that made a powerful impact on me was the character of Charlie, played by Dominic Monaghan. Throughout the 3rd season, it was foretold that Charlie was going to die. And Hurley had a vision, I think, or someone had a vision. Desmond, somebody had a vision that Charlie was going to die. And he does, but he does it. In doing so, he gets communication out to his ship, which turns out to be bad guys, but if it wasn't for him, he also finds out it's not the boat that they think it is, and he writes, not Penny's boat, which is Desmond's girlfriend, and that's how they, get worse. So he sacrifices himself for the greater good, but that was the first death on the show that really got me, I know Lucy and Libby, meh. Michael's departure, meh. It was just, this is the first, Boone, meh. It was really, he was the first one who was like, no, because I really like that character. So, number 2, speaking of powerful deaths, Michael Shanks, Stargate SG-1. You can say, oh, he always dies. True. Michael Shanks dies in a lot of his shows or movies. Like, he was on Smallville, died. But this was the first time that a main cast member, was taken away from the show. And I don't know the behind-the-scenes stuff, but I know that in the show, he was affected by radiation and was slowly dying, and eventually he ascended, which is the higher plane of existence in the show. I guess it didn't work for them. He was replaced with Corin Nemec as Jonas in season 6. I guess it didn't work, it didn't stick, because he returned in season 7 and didn't leave the show until after the show was over. He even stayed for the 2 movies that they had. Daniel Jackson, my favorite character on the show, by the way, followed by Teal'c. But yeah, his death also got me. I'm like, oh, he's dead. Wow. I already knew that, but like when my friend told me, I was like, he's my favorite character, and my friends was like, oh, he dies. I'm like, well, when? Not till later, season 5, I think. And I was just like, well, thanks for telling me, because then I bought season 6. Or we were watching season 6 or something. We watched them out of order. We watched the first, Replicators, season 8, I don't know. And number 1, Phil Hartman, News Radio. Yeah, I had to put this one at number 1. Because there's a good reason why the character was written out. Better than all these reasons, and I didn't even know the reason for Daniel Jackson, but the reason he was written out, Phil Hartman actually died. He was killed by his wife. It's kind of sad. If I remember correctly, his wife killed him, then killed herself. And he was replaced by John Lovitz, but the show wasn't the same again. That's why it was canceled after the next season. But they even paid tribute to him on the show. And rewatching the show, Phil Hartman is like one of the best parts of it. Well, Andy Dick makes it funny too, but like he's one of the, and I guess the 3 best parts are Joe Rogan, Andy Dick, and him. But he is really the best part. And once he's gone, well, to be honest, I haven't gotten that far. I only got to season 3, but I know it's not going to be the same. But yeah, he had to be number 1. Cause that's one of the first things I thought. I'm like, what could I? Oh, Phil Hartman. That's really the first thing I thought of when doing this list. So he had to be number 1. So what are your guys' thoughts on my list? Do you have any, times where cast members left? Let me know in the comments below. Also remember to like, share, and subscribe. Thank you for watching. I've been Scotty. See you in the next one.